welcome today to Cigars and Shots. I'm with the funny lady, Alycia Cooper. How you doing, Alycia?
I'm good, Angela. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So you want to give just a mini bio of yourself?
I've been doing stand-up comedy. It'll be 23 years this October.
And how long have you been doing film?
Films, pretty recently. I would say over the last 4 years.
Got it.
You know, right before the pandemic.
Yes. So to start off, we're actually going to go into the film that you decided to talk about, which is Black Panther. And why did you choose Black Panther?
I actually chose Black Klansman.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Actually, this is interesting. Sorry. So she chose Black Klansman instead.
Yes.
I thought it was quite interesting when I was looking up the the movie poster for Black Klansman. So this is the one that they promoted. This is the movie poster that they promoted. But this is the original.
Yeah, scoot it over a little bit so the audience can see. Yeah, that's the one that will get people in the theater. To me, that's the edgier one. That's the more Spike Lee one.
Absolutely.
You know.
And I'm actually Spike Lee approved this one.
Who absolutely.
And whoever
the
funded
studio approved that one.
Approved this one.
But that's Spike's whole career, though. Remember with Do the Right Thing, he was pitching the script around.
Right.
And they wanted him to change the ending. They didn't want Mookie to throw the trash can and bust Sal's glass. You know, so he's been fighting his whole life to keep his integrity for his projects.
Absolutely.
And he's done the right thing. Fight for your stuff. Do not budge. Because you know your audience. You know what they're coming to see. The people giving you these notes know nothing about the people you wrote this for.
No.
So stand your ground.
Absolutely. And so this is a project that he didn't write, but he did direct.
Yes.
And this is one of those projects that I told you by him, he for sure brings along the people that he's been working with for 1,000 years.
Right.
He has loyalty to the people that he think is great. And just getting into Black Klansmen, the writer, white. It's so funny that these extraordinarily black names are written by somebody white. And I'm thinking, did they change that? Did he originally have the name Black Klansman? Because that would really be an interesting name for somebody what is his name? Charlie. That would be an interesting name for Charlie to have just come up with. Oh yeah, Black Klansman.
Yeah.
But I do realize that Spike Lee did have some say-so in this script, which is probably why it was so good, because I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. What did you think of the project?
The first thing that intrigued me about it was that it's based on a true story.
Right.
You know, because you hear stuff like this, and you're like, oh, that's just Hollywood being far-fetched, and, you know. But this actually happened. So I'm a big documentarian. I love stuff that actually existed and people who actually lived, and I just find all that stuff fascinating. So they had me at hello, you know. And then when I went to see the movie, it did not disappoint. And what did they win? Spike won his first Oscar for directing Black Klansman.
I believe so.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just. It was good. It was good. It was a good story, well told, well acted, well directed, well everything. Yep. And that's why it got the accolades that it did. But when I first heard about it, I automatically knew I was going to go see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I knew I was going to support it. And I'm a Spike Lee fan. You know, I've seen the stuff that he's done that I liked and the stuff that he's done that I didn't like. I've seen it all.
Seen it all, yeah. Because he's Spike Lee. You never know what his film background. It's so diverse. I mean, you have Do the Right Thing. You have then you have The Airmen. And I mean, he can go from one extreme to the other, and he can direct non-black.
Yes.
And I'm proud of him for that.
Yes.
And looking at the crew on this, of course, the writer was white, Spike Lee, director D.P. White, editor was white, but he is Spike's go-to guy. Music composer.
Do we know who his UPM was for this?
No, so I didn't go to any above the line people
Okay.
on these projects because unfortunately 99% of them are white, especially if it's a high studio funded project.
Absolutely.
It's a rare occasion to see above the line be a person of color. So I chose not because
But I feel like if you want one, you can find one, you know. And I've only done 3 films, but what I've observed is that the UPM tends to bring on a lot of their people that they trust, and people's proximity tends to look like them,
right.
you know. So when you have a black UPM, the floodgates open.
Yeah.
When you have a white UPM, they tend to go with people they went to USC or NYU
Right.
with, and they have different relationships and different proximity. And that's one position that I realize has a lot of tentacles.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and you're right. So my goal is we're going to get into you. You're a writer, director, actor. But you know, comedian is probably number one. But the goal is to definitely get into film a little bit more.
Right.
So when you've done your projects, I don't want to, like you said, proximity. What has been your go-to in that realm?
Well, the first one I did trade, I got my script to a UPM named Kim Ogletree. And Kim was able to get it over to Urban Flicks, and they were able to fund it.
All right.
So the beauty in that for me was I was really able in a lot of ways to focus on directing. You know, when you don't have your hands in everything.
Right.
You know, I mean, of course I sat in on the casting, but I felt like I had enough time to focus on getting the angles right and the shots right and I didn't pick anybody. Like I didn't pick the DP. They hired that person.
Got it.
Because they knew it was my first chance. Now, from now on, I would have a say so.
Right.
But I trusted who they picked. And my only requirement at that time was I'm using a beautifully melanated man from Sierra Leone. So I need somebody who knows how to light for that.
Right.
And that's what I was told I was getting. I didn't get that, but that's what I was told I was getting. And as you're new, that's what happens. You have no control over anything. But as you start to stack things up, you can look at things differently and have more input. So I have not done anything. I haven't done any studio films or anything big.
Right.
But if and when I get that opportunity, I'm going to make sure that I have some say-so all throughout that project.
Right. Because being able to, I think that's one thing that I see with this project that Spike says, if my name is going to be on this, I'm bringing the people that I know who can get this to the finish line and get this to the finish line well,
Right.
Whether you like it or not. Now, a lot of people do not, a lot of Black people, we're going to stick to Black people. A lot of Black people are scared. We're scared to tell the studio, no, I don't want this white makeup artist for a cast of Africans. I want somebody that knows how. We have how many shades of black or brown?
36.
Right. We have 36 shades of brown. So how you have to know that we are every color. None of us look alike. Our pigmentation is just completely different. So you have to know.
Within the same family.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
You have 4 siblings, 4 different complexions. So, it's so, stuff just is so much more difficult than it needs to be. Fortunately for me, I've been in front of the camera as well as behind the scenes, and I've had horrible makeup. horrible makeup affects your performance.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because
know.
you're not secure.
Oh.
You don't feel safe. You're probably self-conscious when you get in front of that camera.
All of that, girl, and it happens where you don't expect it to happen. I was booked to do a stand-up comedy show on Magic Johnson's network, Aspire.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if that's still a network,
think it
maybe,
is, yeah.
maybe not. But, and so I get to the show, and I go downstairs to where they're doing hair and makeup. I made sure I handled my hair, but I bought some makeup just in case, because that's one thing you learn how to do as an African American woman. You better bring something just in case.
Just in case, yeah.
I get downstairs to this basement. It's poorly lit. There's one lady, white lady, and she just arrived from, it was like some country that has no black people. She was like, I just got here from Iceland or something.
Oh, my God.
And so I remember looking at her blinking, like, what did you just say? She reaches in her, I wouldn't even call it a makeup kit. She reaches in something and has one color, and the color's for Lupita Nyong'o. So she starts lathering this stuff all over my face.
God.
And you know, when you're getting makeup done, you have to have great lighting.
Yeah.
So there's no lighting. She doesn't have but one tone. It's not my tone. So I go in the bathroom and I started, and you know, they had that hard sandpaper, paper towels.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take this hard paper towel. I'm trying to wet it, and I'm digging this stuff off my skin. So luckily, I pull out what's in my bag and I just do it myself. My mood is funk. You
Right.
know, I'm feeling self-conscious, but I just go out and do my set, and horrible. I'm like, why would an African-American network hire a woman who just came in from Iceland when there's 90,000 black women down the street? I can call 6 of them right now.
Right.
You know.
Money and exposure, probably. At the end of the day, it's somebody knew she was probably cheaper than everybody else.
She should have been free. And cheap is not always better. You get what you pay for.
You get, yeah, absolutely.
You know, so there's certain things you shouldn't scrimp on.
No, and I, especially if you're going to be in front of the camera,
Yeah.
as a black person, this is my first time in front of the camera, people, and I don't have on makeup, so I've never had makeup on, so I absolutely have no idea how that is to be.
The next time we work together, make sure they put you in full glam.
No. Absolutely not. So I can't imagine. I've seen the women on TV shows, network TV shows, and you can see the line of the makeup because this is darker than this or lighter than this, one of the two. And it's like, pull it together, people who, and so it's, and truthfully, I blame us, and that's what this is for. This is not to blame anybody else. This is to blame black people.
Because we know better.
We know better. We know when you, as you say, when you're hiring a DP, this DP has had to have worked with black people. The grip, gaffer, these people have to know black skin. And they have to know that the 3 ladies or men that you're going to have in this scene are 3 different shades of brown.
Right.
How are you going to like these 3 shades of brown? So our representation, I think we have gotten our representation in front of the camera. I think we still need more, but it's the behind the scenes now that I think that we need to focus on.
Right.
We need to focus on the black directors, black producers, black DPs, black editors, makeup, wardrobe.
And they're out there.
They are.
You know, they're out there. So when people genuinely want to work with you, they can find. I remember when I first moved to LA in the late 90s, and at that time, I had produced some stuff for BET and DC, but I wouldn't consider myself a bona fide like talk show producer. I still had a lot to learn. So I didn't have any problems starting at the associate producer position, learning and moving up. But what would happen is you wouldn't see that many African American producers in talk, and they would always say, because we don't know any. And my response was, but I know some, and other black people know some, and if you just ask us, we can send you over 10 names and 10 numbers. Just give us 30 minutes.
Right.
You know, so I always felt like if you wanted to find it, you would.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of great people out here. To me, I've always said, and I'm sure everybody feels the same way, you get better with the work.
Absolutely.
If you can't get the work, you can't improve.
Yeah, and if you expect us to work, you've got to put us to work.
Put us to work.
But that's us.
Yeah.
We've got to put our own to work.
Yeah.
Do I hire a female?
Mm-hmm.
Do I hire a male? Do you stay in this realm of what you know, or do you come out of the box? Because if we expect us to hire ourselves, if we don't hire ourselves, how do we expect them to? So we've got to hire ourselves. And I don't know, how is it so have you done I know you've just releasing your Alycia for president.
Oh yeah.
So you haven't actually done a video stand-up yet?
That I've produced?
Yeah. No. Of you.
No, I have. The last one, Alycia Cooper for President, is also available in video. We're waiting for it to come out on Tubi.
Oh, it is.
So yeah,
See, there we go, people.
Yeah, the same thing you hear can be seen. We're just waiting for the release date.
Got it.
But and I'm trying to think about the other ones. I did record one. I had one that was recorded. Oh, you know what? No, I did that specifically with iTunes in mind, so I only did the audio. So yeah, so this is the first one that you can see and hear. It's the 6th one, but the other 5 have been gone. I did them for iTunes.
And just audio. So this one is audio and video. So you're in front of the camera. And when does it come out?
Well, I thought it would have been out by now, and I texted the production company earlier today and said, hey, do we have a Tubi date yet? And I'm still waiting to hear back. But I'm hoping that it'll come out by next week. Got
it. Well, we will have that link to Tubi when it comes out, so we can see you doing your absolutely fabulous stand-up, because I listened to it the other day, and listen, I don't know why at this point you don't have a TV series. Probably because you haven't written one about yourself, have you?
Well, I wrote one, not about myself, but I wrote one for myself. And I'm trying to pitch it. But you know what? We're in such a weird time right now. And it's not weird good. We're in a weird bad time. Where now it's like everything is about being a part of the 1%, whatever that field is. My Aunt Evelyn would always say, she's a Trump supporter. In D.C., red MAGA hat wearing Trump supporter. And she says some of the funniest stuff. She owns a lot of properties. And she was like, there's 2 types of people in America. Either you got it or you don't. And let me tell you, it's becoming truer each day, because the haves are not sharing with the have-nots. And what I mean by that is they're doing a new comedy show now, BT Comic View. So you remember Comic View from the 90s. Comic View was about hosts that were not household names, giving breaks to comics you never heard of, and we all had a good time. And the comics you never heard of started getting booked in the clubs because they were doing Comic View 3, 4, 5, 6 times. They were starting to build themselves. Now they're bringing it back. Everybody that has anything to do with it, and in front of the host down to the acts, are all multimillionaires. So how does the little person get a shot?
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all should call it something else.
Right.
Because the Comic View brand isn't household name after household name. Give it up to the next household name. So what's happening is people trying to get it ain't getting it.
Oh,
and that's with every field. Netflix is a joke. When they came to town and had the showcases and all that stuff, everybody was from one agency. So if you're not a part of that agency, you're not eating. So it's like it's the Hunger Games out here. Like, it is just that bad. So now one agency controls everything, one company controls everything. Millionaires. Remember when film festivals started, Sundance, Tribeca, they were for independents that needed a break.
Yep.
Now you got studio funded $50 million budget movies, at these festivals.
That should be for the up and
That should
coming.
be for people who ain't eating.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They should
you're
have a
right.
cap on it, $1 million budget or less.
Right.
Because why do we need you at Sundance and Tribeca when you in a theater?
Right.
This was supposed to be for people who had great products but needed this break.
Right.
Now it's for the 1%ers. So we're becoming
right.
a country of 1%ers.
Yeah.
A friend of mine told me, well, her sister was an actress, and this right here really shook me. Because this is what's happening now with the SAG and the WGA and all that stuff. And I didn't even realize it because I didn't take the time to really delve into what it was. And I went to ABFF in Miami last month. And they were doing a panel. And this one girl, she was an actress. She said something that will shake you to your core. She said that she did a project, and there was a lot of elderly white people on the set. So she starts talking to them during a break thinking, oh, they're probably some rich man's wife, and
Right.
she's just here because she's bored being in the mansion, or they just want to fill their time. They they could be doing anything else,
Right.
but they're not here out of necessity. And people told her that they had started acting during I Love Lucy and Gilligan's Island and Brady Bunch when there was no residuals. Now these shows have been repeating for 6 decades. They never got another dime, and they have to work now.
Oh my God.
And this is what we're coming back to. Because when you look at these streamers, they're not giving you residuals.
No.
So now you got to be 80 and 90 still working. And the stuff you
As
put
background,
out is
probably.
background, and the stuff you put out is still airing. And that's what we're returning to.
And that's it's essentially why the writers are on strike.
Yes.
SAG essentially.
They said the writers' rooms that used to have 10 and 12 writers in them now have 2.
Yeah, and they don't require you to be in the same room. I think they really do think AI is going to come in.
Oh, they got something up their sleeve, honey.
Because did you also hear that LA County also just approved a tax incentive like a day or two ago? And it's supposed to be, of course, for actors and stuff, but what that is allowing the studios to do is say, oh, we don't have to hurry up and make a decision on this. We're now...
What's the tax incentive supposed to help?
As far as I know, I believe it's supposed to help the actors.
Okay.
But see, if the county is giving either actors or the studios incentives, breaks, essentially breaks, that doesn't move forward negotiations. That stops negotiations because now there's no need for rush. There's no need to move this forward because, oh, LA County just released this incentive or tax break.
Well, when I first heard about the strike, the first thing I thought about was how these streamers have gobbled up so much content. They don't even need any new content for a year because I still haven't been able to watch The Handmaid's Tale because I have 69 other thousand things in queue that I haven't had a chance to look at.
Absolutely.
So if we all talk about all the stuff we want to see that we haven't gotten around to, it's a year's worth of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, the studios and the streamers have 1,000 projects on their shelf that they never released.
Right. That's they gobbled up stuff. But this is the thing. First of all, these streamers should have to open up their books at the end of the year.
Yeah.
The IRS is on me and you.
Right.
Like we conglomerates.
Right.
But they don't have to open up your books and let us see what you're making so that we can get a fair deal. And you can't say the money isn't there when we hear you giving this comic $40 million and this comic $60 million for an hour.
Right.
The money's there.
Yeah.
It's just how do you plan on doling it out?
Right. And the infrastructure in the mathematics of things, because they want to claim that they can't track it. Absolutely you can.
They're tracking it.
They're tracking it because that's how they can see what actors are making the money, what because they'll put them on another show, what host is doing well. I mean, how many hosting shows can Steve Harvey have?
Right.
Ryan Seacrest.
Right.
what's the football player who just got his next another project?
Michael Strahan or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if you look on these streamers and they have one comic with 4 specials, that's because you quantified the last special.
Absolutely.
And you quantified the special before that. There's something you know.
Absolutely.
So tell us what that is.
Yeah. And you know that if the Asian population loves the Asian comic and they're your newest subscribers, that's who you're going to put your money to. So you can't. So when they say they do not have the infrastructure to see how many people watch this, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
People wouldn't even better have a job if you couldn't quantify this stuff. But that Squid Games blew that thing up. They said Squid Games alone made so much money for Netflix, it ain't even funny.
And did you hear what he got paid for it?
I heard that he got nothing. I didn't know what it was, but I heard he...
$30,000, and he turned over all the rights.
No, that shouldn't even be legal.
He
He gonna have to
turned
do a Dave Chappelle. Remember how Dave Chappelle went back and said, "Don't watch the Chappelle show. I was desperate. I had 2 babies to feed, and they got me." So that Asian man gonna have to do that. Hey, they got me. They got me. You know, if he wants to get anything fair, because they'll redo it. When Amy Schumer complained after signing her deal that she didn't get as much as Chris and Dave, they ripped up the deal she signed and gave her more. So that's what that Asian gentleman needs to do. $30,000, they done made $300 billion.
You know, and
so,
they're working on Squid too.
Yeah. Well, he need to get $50 billion as a signing bonus.
Yeah, but I guarantee you that he probably didn't go back because he's a first-time guy. He needed to get this done. Mm-hmm. I think he's been shopping that project for like 12 years, some crazy number of years. So when Netflix finally said, "We got you," mm-hmm. he took whatever deal they can, and I've seen with Netflix. Now what they're doing is majority of the new stuff that you see on there is foreign, or mm-hmm. African, from Africa somewhere. It's probably low pay. They picked it up for low, and they'll just keep doing those. And I imagine with him, he just said, "Let me get in the door."
But you know what? I get that, but what we need to do with this getting the door mentality, because I did that too with trade, what we have to do, they were on a much bigger scale than I was, but what we need to do is have some sort of back end, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, where if this thing makes this amount of money, I get this. If it makes this amount of money, I get that. You know,
but do you think everybody will be true in telling you what the back end did?
They're going to cook the books now. They are going to cook it. But, I mean, how much can you cook a multi-billion-dollar project?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to...
We're the whistleblowers. We always have whistleblowers on dumb stuff. We're the cookbook whistleblowers.
Right.
Because they out there.
Yeah, because the back end, they want to charge you everything on the back end.
Mm. They like toilet paper on the back end. We had to get some Bounty super soft.
And we couldn't go to the 99-cent store and get it. So we
My uncle made it.
We went to Charmin with diamonds. It's $30,000 a roll. Yeah, it's really ridiculous now, the amount of money that they can recoup from you before you think you're going to see anything. I mean, I hope on Squid 2 he has a back end deal rather than
a good front end deal.
Yeah, I always think of Will Smith. He might not be the best in the personal business, but I think him as you have to be a business. You have to be a business person in this industry in order to get what's due yours. Mm-hmm. And I think I always looked at him because he took less money up front in order to have a great back end and to be labeled as an executive producer on a majority of his projects. So when you see... I think Halle Berry did that also for Monsters Ball.
Oh, okay. The one she won the Oscar for. That was good.
Yeah, the one she won the Oscar for. I think she only, I don't know what her initial salary was, but it was more than half of what she typically can get. But she got the back end deal. And I mean, I know we're going off script, but yeah, I think we have to know our worth in this game. You can't just assume that they're looking out for you, because listen, at the end of the day, it's about the almighty dollar. I need to get mine. You need to get yours. You even said so. Okay, so I mean, I know the process, but so after you did trade, you then said, okay, I need to do this by myself because I wasn't looked out.
Oh yeah, I lost everything. I lost everything on that deal. And there was just so much leading up to that because I kept asking for my contract. Nobody would give it to me. And then they waited till like 2 days before we were supposed to start filming. You came into town, got into a car accident. Yeah. Remember some tractor trailer hit you and the side of the car. I said, I got to go through with this. Angela that damn near done lost her life. I said, there's no way in heck I'm going to pull out of this deal now. I was like, too many people are relying on this thing. Right. So I just went on and signed it, and it was horrible. But, I said, I can't even apply to these programs, NBC, CBS, Warner Brothers, any of these directing programs, because you're not going to get in with one project. Mm-hmm. So, and I had 0 at the time. Right. That was the first one. And I said, I still got to keep going because I need a reel just to even make myself competitive. So I knew that this was going to be a locomotive that had to keep going. Right. And I had to start somewhere. Yeah. So I did. I signed everything over. I have no rights to anything. Not even the characters, not even the characters' names. And those were my babies. Oh, no. So what I'm hoping to do is one day get enough money to get a lawyer to get it back. Right. Because all those things are possible. Yeah. Because if nobody's doing anything with it, what do you need it for? Right. Yeah. And that's what, and we don't always have somebody that we can go to say, hey, look, can you look over this contract? Right. Listen, I barely have enough money to eat today, let alone pay a entertainment lawyer to look at this 15-page contract that I'm trying to go through myself. So, you want to, and we end up signing deals that I like to call it, we end up signing the TLC deal. Yes. And not knowing what we're doing, getting nothing. But at least they sent TLC 3 RAV4s. I didn't even get that. I think you probably came out better without the RAV4. But we in this industry need to. I mean, not that I've ever looked it up, but are there black entertainment lawyers out there who would do some pro bono stuff? Oh no, they're not doing any pro bono, but they're out there. Yeah. So what do we do? I mean, what are you supposed to? What is Alycia supposed to do when she gets hit with that next? So you had your project on Tubi. How did you decide? Okay, Tubi is it. Oh, you're talking about the comedy? Yeah. Well, what happened was the company Laugh After Dark, they handled all of that. Ah, got it. Okay. So they handled that, and they told me when the release date was going to be for iTunes, and that's available now. Mm-hmm. And then they told me first we were trying for Amazon Prime. I never wanted Amazon Prime because you would have to pay for it. Oh. I don't want anybody to have to pay. Oh, got it. So when he told me that Tubi is looking, I said, let's go with them because it's free. Mm-hmm. Of course, you might have to watch an ad, but so. Right. So what? I would rather, I think you can have a bigger fan base when you're at my level and things are free. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it actually is going to end up working out better for me that it's going to be Tubi, but that was all there. I had no say-so in that. Ah, got it. Okay. So, yeah. Because that's what I was saying is how do you decide, okay, this contract is good, or do you just still, the goal is to get out there and get the fans? At my level, that's what the goal is. But what I want to do for 2024, there's 2 things I want to do for 2024. One, I want to write my biography, and that's what I'm going to start working on in the middle of July. Got it. I'm going to start working on my, the middle of August. I'm sorry, it's already the middle of July. The middle of August, I'm going to start working on my biography. It's called I've Never Heard of You Either. And it's going to be about my life. Mm-hmm. I want to do that. And then the second thing I want to do in 2024, and this is a big wish, is I want to shoot my own hour-long special. Mm-hmm. And I want to premiere it at ABFF in Miami next year. and then see if we can find some distributors. So that's what 2 things that I have on my list that I'm focusing on. And just to own the IP. That's what you want to do. You want to own your intellectual property so that if somebody sells it 50 more times, you get paid 50 more times. You know, you're never watching the Brady Bunch and you see yourself on there 16 with pigtails and you never got another nickel and you eating Spam in the corner crying while watching it 6 decades later.
Right. Or opening up the residual check that says 5 cents.
Yeah, the stamp costs more than what you got.
Right. Y'all can keep that, NBC.
Yeah.
So good. Okay. So you have actually some goals in mind. What is
some goals that include ownership? Because right now, you know, when it comes to the latest round of stand up, I don't own it. So that's my goal. See, the reason Dave got that $60 million because he shot his own stuff and had it in a vault. Like Prince.
Let's shoot it.
Yeah, the West we got to do is shoot our own stuff.
Right.
And so he took his out the vault, gave it to Netflix. All they had to do was hit play. That's why he got the money he got.
Well, let's shoot it.
All right, let's do it. 2024. We just got to find a
these.
venue. Okay, we just got to find a venue. Let's do it.
Yes. I mean, listen. I think that's what I think that's why we end up shooting shorts and shooting our own stuff and trying to get our friends and family and putting the house, getting equity out of the house so we can actually be the owners of it.
Yeah.
So when we take it to NBC or CBS, it's ours. We do not have to ask anybody for permission.
True.
We are the permission.
Let's do it. Yeah.
We are the permission. I think, who did I say that to? I think I was talking to another friend about how do you make sure that stuff is yours. I know what it was. It has nothing to do with the film industry, but it's the CBD THC industry. And she has this really great topical. And I said, so where do you get the oil to put in the topical? Oh, from this other girl. And I'm just like, oh, no. I said, girl, you have to learn how to make that. I said, you're now paying somebody half of your earnings because she's making something that you could actually make. I said, even if you continue using her, learn how to do it yourself. Because there's going to come a time when she's not going to be available to make your stuff.
Right.
I said, and you are going to be stuck.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to deliver.
Yeah.
And that's like you said. Dave Chappelle was like, "Oh, I got
let me
some.
open up this safe right here.
Right, I got something for you."
Yeah.
And that's probably, some of these people who actually sold their projects to your Netflixes and CBS's and they never aired. I guarantee you right now they're calling them up. Hey, do you remember that project that you greenlit? We shot it and then you shelved it. I think it's time for you to go ahead and open that back up. And I bet you that's what's happening right now with the writer's strike.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't know how long this strike is going to last.
No. Are you in any, because I know I'm sitting here looking at your resume, and you've been busy in the realm of acting. You've been busy. You've gotten a lot of guest roles, and your own stuff. Kenan, I think you just did Kenan last year, or did it aired last year? I believe.
I think it aired last year. Yeah. Well, the thing is, this is the funniest thing that I've learned, and you know how everybody's gone to this self-taping crap where you have to do everything yourself and send it in like you're the production company. Well, what I've learned, I've done probably 3,000 self-tapes, and I may have booked like one thing.
Oh boy.
What I get are the things where people call me up and say, "Hey, we got this role, and we want you to play Emma."
Wow.
That's what I get. Auditioning gets me nothing. I mean, it's strengthened my auditioning chops.
Right.
But other than that, there's no benefit to me in auditioning. And so what I tell my agents is to tell them to make me a straight offer. Because I'm spending my time, you memorizing all this crap you ain't being paid to memorize.
Right.
And then you don't get it. You've taken so much time out of your day. Sometimes it's 9 pages they sent you.
To do a self-tape?
To do it. ridiculous.
Oh God.
So I'm not playing those reindeer games anymore.
Right.
I get the stuff where people want me.
No.
Because even before the pandemic, when you had to do an audition in LA, you had to be in LA because the audition is down here off Wilshire. Now you can be in Germany and sending this self-tape.
True.
You know, so now you're competing on a global scale for 4 sentences. So I'm like, you see my resume, you know what I can do. Either you want me or nothing I'm going to be able to show you now that you haven't already seen.
That's amazing to actually be in that space.
I'm in that space. But you know, that comes with age too.
Right.
You know, the older you get, the less
absolutely.
crap you take.
Listen, at 40 plus, you think, no. No, I don't.
Oh, you're real comfortable with the word no.
Yeah. You just, you. The wool can no longer be pulled over your head. You will allow certain things in order to make a project. You'll allow some things, but knowingly.
Yes.
Before 40, I don't think I would have just knowingly. I think I'd have just okay, let's do this. I'll work for free. And now it's like, I guess for me, because I also teach now. It is definitely freed me up not to have to take everything or not to have to pursue everything, because sometimes stuff is just a job.
Right.
It's, you can get a script and you're thinking, oof, I wouldn't even watch this on my worst day. But when they say, oh, the pay is $650 a day, I'll take it.
Yes, I'll be there.
Yeah. We sometimes we don't have that option of saying no. We have that option of taking of if you're not going to pay me or pay me nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot pay me for a passion project because I just actually love the script. I loved who's involved. I love everything about it, and I want to see this done. So I'll do it for free-ish. But something else, oh, no. This is just a job now. You got to pay me to be on a set of a project that I really just don't like.
Mm-mm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It's passion projects. I mean, you know them when you see them. Mm-hmm. You know them when they come across your desk. You know them. You just want to be a part of this thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're rarities.
Right. Yes.
And that's another thing that's the difference between like studio projects versus independents. Because some independents, they shooting their first draft. You like, I can't believe y'all didn't do no rewrites. 0 rewrites?
We're still on white. We haven't even moved up to pink, yellow, nothing.
Well, studios will make you rewrite 20 times.
Right.
But the end result is what it is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said for, the process when it comes to what you're put through to give out. That's why, you'll see more projects that are Oscar worthy that come from having the bigger budgets and the bigger studio production company, blah, 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 versus indies are good. There are a lot of great indies, but if you're not stomped on to the fact that this could be better before we start shooting, I think that I've seen a lot of stuff where I'm like, if y'all just did a few more rewrites, just
one more.
Something.
If somebody would have just realized that what he just said was not the right thing to say.
No.
Yeah.
And when it's on the page, it's so much. You've made it so much easier for the actor to act because they don't have to create something out of nothing.
We're not, ad lib not,
So yes, but I enjoy the whole process and getting into the trenches of it, which is exactly what Trey did. It threw me into the trenches of everything. I learned so much. I've learned just to respect everybody's job because everybody's job is important.
Right.
I learned what everybody does, learn why they're doing it. We learned how to call a lot of audibles. One girl showed up. She was supposed to play a corrections officer. So we called and asked her for her sizes, and she must have given her aspirational sizes. Because she showed up, couldn't get her thigh in them pants. And I said, well, what sizes did you say? So luckily, one of the girls that was craft services could fit the actual outfit, and she became the corrections officer that day.
I remember.
But these are the things that happen the day of.
The day, yeah.
You know, when I did Fat Stripper, I had a guy who was so funny. He had just won the NBC diversity thing for comedy. And one of the guys, Isaac, told me about him. So he was scheduled to come in. And I'm sitting in hair and makeup, not realizing that you're going to be in front of the camera and behind the scenes, which is a whole different can of worms. But it's like an hour before, you know, he should be, his call time is like in an hour. So, and I'm like, well, let me make sure everything's all right. So I call him, not picking up the phone. I'm still calling, not picking up the phone, going straight to voicemail. So I said, Isaac, can you call? Can you get him? Isaac, he's not picking up the phone for him either. And this is the guy he told me to book. Finally, we get him on the line. He is 2 sheets to the wind drunk. So he was out all night till 4 a.m. and he's staggered in the house and he's not going to be able to make it. He's drunk.
Yeah.
So not only do I have dialogue to memorize, shots to make sure I get, one of my main characters is at home drunk. And I'm paying for this production in the heart of a pandemic. So Isaac says, well, my friend Chip is here with me, and he's a comic and an actor. So Chip is black. So I look over at Chip. This role was for a Latino man.
Right.
He was saying some words in Espanol. So I said, you know what? I said, Chip, you got this? He said, yeah. I said, give Chip the size. Chip went off to the side. He created a whole character. Chip took his shirt off and put a little Tupac bandana around his head, and he slayed them lines. And I really believe he was better than the guy was supposed to have.
Which was, you're like, thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God. But these are the things that you have to be in the trenches to even deal with this stuff.
Right.
And it makes you a better director because you've been through it already. So now, next time I won't be so flustered.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, been there, done that.
You'll be prepared.
I'll be prepared. So this is a career where you've got to get down and dirty. You've got to get in the trenches. And it's not an easy career because there's more Spike Lees out here. They just haven't been given an opportunity.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah, and you would think with all the capabilities we have, cell phone. Listen, you can create a whole movie on a cell phone. But it seems like sometimes we've limited ourselves.
Well, a friend of mine, a black guy named Owen, he went and bought 5 iPhones, shot his own stand-up special, and returned them.
He didn't really, Apple. He didn't. He kept them. He kept them.
He kept them all. So people are being resourceful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hope that we as a black community, we can encourage. And look, when somebody needs something done, we're all there to help. Because that's the only way we're going to get it done. And like you said, you went to ABFF.
Yes.
So I've been, like you said about these multi-million-dollar films and whatnot that get in these festivals.
Right.
I do like ABFF that has decided to allow newer projects, and Pan-African Film Festival. Yeah. They have really stayed true to putting new out there. And Bronze Lens. I don't know if you ever know Bronze Lens out of Atlanta. So some of these festivals have decided to keep it genuine and new and fresh, and bring in the new. How was it being down there in the trenches of that?
I didn't realize I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. You know, because I've done like real screens and different things like that where everybody that's supposed to be in the room where it happens is, you know, all the big wigs. And at the end, you spend all this money to go.
Right.
Then you're supposed to be networking. This is the head of Bravo. This is the head of blah, blah, blah. And then you meet them at the end and you say, oh, can you have a business card? No. So they really didn't come to meet you. They really didn't come to find new talent or new creatives. It was, I don't know, maybe they're getting paid a check to show up, but it felt disingenuous to me. And I said, I'll never do that again. So when my friend went last year to ABFF, she was calling me from there. She was like, yeah, this is a great place where they talk about how they need more black female directors and everybody's here. You can talk to them and you can go to these after parties. And she said, you should have been here. And I was like, oh, man, I'm going to go next year. So she's back. Her son he was the young kid in Just Us, Keely.
Oh, okay.
And she was my college roommate. And so I went this year, and I knew they'd be there. And it also helps when you know some people that's going to be there. It's lonely going all this stuff by yourself. Yeah. But I knew people that were going to be there. We went to the after parties, like TV1 after parties. Let me tell you how serious these people are in meeting new creatives. You'll say, do you have a business card? They'll go, I got better than that. Put your camera on. And you throw your thing over top and they boop, and all their whole contact comes up right in your phone. Heads of TV1.
Nice.
So, and I mean, these people are really trying to meet you. This is my thing. If your job is to find new projects, why are you not looking for, I mean, maybe the real screen people are just not looking for new projects from people that look like me.
Right.
Because it was very odd how I couldn't take that and move it further and try to create contacts. And you might look at my stuff and say, this is not right for this network. We're going to pass. I never even got to that point. But here at ABFF, I met everybody I wanted to meet, except I didn't get to meet Lena Waithe because she was gone to the side afterwards. I met Issa Rae. I met the guy who won the Oscar for Hair Love.
Oh.
Talking to him, just like we're talking.
Matthew Cherry.
Matthew Cherry.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody, I mean, it was something to do every day, all day. I saw some of the stuff I wanted to see screen. We saw They Clone Tyrone. That got a standing ovation at the end. I saw they did a thing last night about how The Color Purple is being rebooted and it's coming out December 25th. So they showed the trailer and some of the cast members were there. Taraji and the girl, what's her last name? Brooks? Danielle Brooks.
Danielle Brooks.
Danielle Brooks. She's playing Sophia.
Yeah, she was originally on Orange is the New Black.
And she said she did The Color Purple on Broadway. Yeah. And still had to audition like a gang of times and took like a year to get the yes. I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like Oprah, torture.
Yeah. I mean,
she was doing it already on Broadway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, see, this is why I'm not doing anything that you don't call me for. Because y'all not taking me through all that mess.
Right. Y'all just call me for,
yes,
just call me for my day rate.
Yeah.
And when
I think she's still in her 30s or something, so she got a little bit more energy for it than me.
Yeah.
But if you want me, call me. My number has not changed in 12, 13 years. So I don't have the fortitude for that. But so I really think, I said I'm going to keep going to that. You know, I met the husband and wife team who puts it on every year. They're accessible. Everybody was just accessible.
And I think that's the first time I've ever heard. I mean, I've heard ABFF is great. Yeah. But hearing that people are accessible, people are going there to network. Because the unfortunate side of it is even the big wigs have to network. Yes. Even the big known actors. Yes. I mean, I would love to know how many below the line back end people are there, like your DPs, like your editors, you know, saying, hey, look, I'm a great editor here.
They're there.
They're there.
I've met a lot of them, and a lot of them are there with their project.
Oh,
you know, so they're there. Everybody is in that is there, and I think it's 4 or 5 days. Yeah. And it was just, I would tell everybody in the film or TV industry, if you haven't been, at least do it once.
Do it once.
You know, All Black had a party. This one had a party. That one had a party. I mean, and they're there, and you can speak to them, and they don't mind being spoken to.
That's amazing.
So I really
hats
enjoyed
off
it.
to ABFF and still being around for so long.
Yes.
And doing what they do. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
Because we're going to be our best support. We should be. We should be our best supporter, and we should be the ones who are promoting us.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I want to see if Tyler Perry buys BET. You hear he bought it, and he didn't buy it. He bought it, and he didn't buy it. If he does buy it, then it'll be black owned again. And I would like to see how the fruit bears out on that.
Absolutely. Well, just an interesting tidbit. I think I might have told you that the movies that I'm doing in this particular series are from 2018, which is the essentially the last year that we can pull any sort of data from pre-COVID.
Okay.
And out of the top 25 films, there was only 2 projects that had a black DP. Two.
Which two?
Both Tyler Perry films and the same guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tyler keeping black DPs working?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I thought to myself, that's amazing. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably not going to put this in there, but they weren't the best shots. Could probably fix somebody else, Tyler. But I'm excited that he actually gave this brother a chance on his projects. Not only 1, but 2 in the same year.
Okay.
There's no other project. And we're talking about 25 films.
You're saying that this guy hasn't worked since those 2 films in 2018?
No, he has.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm assuming he has. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. What I'm
Okay.
saying is in 2018, he, out of the top 25 films, there was only 2 projects that had a black DP.
And it was the same guy.
It was the same guy. And it was both Tyler Perry films, both Tyler Perry projects.
And he was also craft services. He was also
Continuity.
continuity. He
Yeah.
was also the UPM.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
probably played a little bit of everything, but when you looking up DPs, because I think that's one of the things that we have been struggling to, the role that we've been struggling to fulfill is the DP role, and when you do a Google search for black DPs, there are 5 that show up, 5 some award winning. There's a black guy that did Selma for Ava, and he also did Central Park 5, I believe.
Wow.
But
that
do you
was
know
so
what?
well shot.
But do you know what he's done
The
since?
lighting was beautiful. What?
But do you know what he's done since? A short.
What? Oh,
A
Lord.
short.
This is terrible.
So when you look at something like ABFF, it's like, now are black DPs down there letting people know that we are here? We have, no.
But we need, I wonder if somebody has a website. I think there's a guy, I'm going to look him up. I think a guy named Ricardo might have a site that gives you all the information to black people in these roles. I'm going to double check that because I heard this probably 6 years ago. But I thought there was a website where you could find what you're looking for in our community.
In our community?
Yeah.
I would,
If it isn't, we need to start one.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because I think it's a shame that a guy who's actually an award winner DP has.
But he's got to be working. Like Ava keeps people working. Queen Sugar.
She did put him those 2, but he hasn't done any. I'm telling you, he's done shorts.
Nothing?
I'm going to try. Let me
No
see.
Queen Sugar?
No, I didn't see him on Queen Sugar. We're going to find him.
Because she hooks you up.
Yeah, she did. She got him She got him on 2 different projects with. I'm assuming he got awards for both of them.
Right.
DP for Selma. I put for Coma for the movie Selma.
This drink was gone.
DP for Selma, the movie. MOVIE. I don't know why. Bradford Young.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a search on Bradford Young.
Let's do a search on him.
He is in the Union. So Bradford Young. So when they see us, which was
The movie.
the movie.
Was a TV series.
Yep, 2019.
Yeah. Okay.
2019, he did Black to Techno, a short.
Okay.
2021, so you figure 2019, 2021, he did a short called Syntropy. 2023, he did a short called Seeking, the Map of Argula Geechee. It's a short.
I'm going to need you to have him on as a guest.
I know.
Because we need we need insight into this.
Yeah, but this is an award-winning DP.
Brilliant man.
Yes. And he has 75 roles. And I don't know what happened he's done a movie called Arrival. He did Selma, of course. But he's since
He's MIA.
Since 2019, which is when They See Us came out, he's only done shorts.
Yeah, we got to talk to him.
Yeah. Bradford Young, if you see this, call me. Call me, Bradford, because there's no reason, and he's not even he's not even in his 50s. So it's not that he's gotten too old, but it doesn't even matter that he's gotten too old, because the DP for I'm gonna go with the DP for Napoli Ever After is Alar Cavillo, who's white and 70.
Wow, she's still working.
At 70.
God damn.
And we have Bradford Young here, who's still in his 40s, who is award-winning and is doing shorts.
I don't understand. You got to get him as a guest.
Yeah, he's got to come on. I mean, he's
got to come on.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Well, truthfully, so he's really one of the reasons why I started this, because in looking up, so I decided I really delved into 2018 because I wanted to see what our best movies were that year and who were the below the line crew on these movies, and how, who is working. Who's working? Because I know so many DPs that aren't working. Black DPs that aren't working.
Right.
And when you see Napoli Ever After still hiring a DP who is 70 and white, we have a problem now. Yeah. And it's not that I have a problem with Alar.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with there's no black people above the line. There's writers white, directors white, DPs white, editors white, music composers white. So it's not even, this was a Netflix project. So at least with Black Panther, their DP was was a female. Yeah, their DP, but still,
there's your diversity. There's your diversity.
Right. And she a 45-year-old white woman. Wow. So you start breaking some of this stuff down. Yeah. We have our black directors. We have our black actors. I can't even say writers. We have our black actors who are showing up in front of the camera, but the people running the camera, that's a no. It's a no. So we're going to wrap this up. Alycia, give the audience something to take away from you. What can you give as what's your good word?
My good word would be, find that thing that you're passionate about and that thing that you love and just stick to it. I really believe that it will happen for you. So many of us, including myself, we get discouraged. But you were put here for a reason, and you are passionate about what you're passionate about for a reason. So there's going to be ups and downs, highs and lows, ebbs and flows. You're going to see a lot of people getting a lot of stuff, and you're going to wonder why they're getting it and you aren't. There's a lot of reasons why they're getting it and you aren't. But you can get yours too. Just do not give up. I remember the old quote that Joan Rivers had. They asked Joan Rivers, how many of people that started in this industry with you actually made it? And she said all of them that stuck with it. So just stick with it. You're going to have you're going to hear the word no a lot more than you would like to hear it. But, and also fund some of your own stuff. Like, don't wait for people to do stuff for you. If you really want it done, there's ways to do it. Either you can self-finance, or you can go on Seed and Spark or one of these kind of crowdfunding sites and put up what you're trying to do, and people will donate. So just do it yourself. That way you know it's done the way you want it done, and you'll own the intellectual property. So try to own as much of this stuff as you can. Sometimes it's out of your control. But try to hold on to that, because that's where the residuals come in. You can't be kicked out of something you created.
Right.
You know, as long as you don't turn it over like Roseanne. When she did the first Roseanne, they kicked her out of the creative bias. One guy, Matt something. And that cost her $1 billion.
Wow.
When this was her domestic goddess, you know, her whole, family stand up. She should have never been kicked out of that.
Yeah, because she didn't come back. She came back to Connor for
Yeah, well, she came back to Connors as one of the creators.
Right.
So she was finally getting it, and then her mouth got her kicked out. So, yeah. So you want to get that created by, you want to try to own as much of this as you can. And sometimes that's having skin in the game, which means some of your own money.
Right.
So just definitely research what it is you want to do. Talk to people who are already doing it at a high level. And then get your game plan together.
Got it. Well, we appreciate having Alycia here with us. Stay tuned for the next episode. I don't know what it is, so I can't tell you what it is.
Oh, also let them know they can follow me on Instagram at Alycia Cooper 2.
Go ahead.
Oh, and you can follow me on Instagram at Alycia Cooper 2, Alycia Cooper and the number 2.
Yes. And we're going to have links. I'm going to ask for links, and because I want to put together. I want your stuff is going to be shown in it, and I want people to go see your link, especially the special that's coming out on Tubi. Listen, you need the views.
I need the eyeballs.
Yeah, you need the eyeballs, and we'll look forward to some new and improved stuff.
Yes.
From Alycia Cooper in the future. Good luck. And God bless. That was in the words of Worcester Simmons. You mean, God bless and good night.
You got to throw the lisp in there.
Yes. God bless and good night.